In the previous video, we obtained the standard equation of an ellipse with center at 0, 0 and the foci along the x-axis. The equation was x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal 1, where b was a positive value, positive number, such that b squared was a squared minus c squared. We also noticed that a has to be more than c, a has to be more than b, and the c was really the distance between a focus and the center. Now we look for additional meaning to the numbers a and b. The graph of the ellipse shows that the ellipse has x and y intercepts. The x-intercepts are the points v sub 1 and v sub 2, which are the vertices of the ellipse, and the points b sub 1 and b sub 2 are the y-intercepts, and these are the endpoints of the minor axis. Since we have the equation of the ellipse, then we can find the intercepts using the standard procedures. So let's try to find the x-intercepts first. To find the x-intercepts, we'll set the y equal to 0 and solve the equation for x. So if we set y equals 0 in the equation becomes x squared over a squared is equal 1, which gives me a squared is equal x squared, and this means that x is plus or minus x is equal plus or minus square root of a squared, and since a is positive, that's going to be plus or minus a. Therefore, the intercepts are a, 0 and negative a, 0. Since a is positive, this is really the point v sub 1, and this is point v sub 2. So the point v sub 1 has coordinates a, 0, and v sub 2 has coordinates negative a, 0. And therefore we can say that a is the distance between a vertex and the center. So we have additional relationship between the value of a and the graph of the ellipse. Also, points v1 and v2 are the endpoints of the major axis, and therefore we can say that the major axis has the length of 2a. This is the major axis. Now, as for the y-intercepts, we'll proceed in a similar way. We'll set this time x equals 0 and solve the equation for y. And the equation will be, as before, y squared over b squared is equal 1, which will give us the values y equals plus or minus b. And therefore, the y-intercepts are the 0, b and 0, negative b. But these are the points b sub 1 and b sub 2. So the point b sub 1 has coordinates 0, b, and b sub 2 has coordinates 0, negative b. And these are the endpoints of the minor axis, and therefore the length of the minor axis is going to be 2b. This is the minor axis. Now, since we know that a is more than b, by looking at these lengths of those two segments, you can say that the major axis is going to be longer than the minor axis, hence the names. Notice that in the equation, x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared is equal 1. A squared, or the number below x squared, determine the x-intercepts, and the number below y squared determine y-intercepts. Notice also that if I have those x and y intercepts, I can pretty accurately draw the graph of that ellipse. This is the oval going through those 4 points, and we'll use this information when graphing ellipses.